Hello everybody, welcome to my channel. My name is Debbie, I am Debbie Drama, and today I've got a little bit of theatre to talk about, my pretties. Yes, if that didn't give it away completely. I'm talking about The Wizard of Oz that was at Leeds Playhouse over Christmas. It was there for, does it say on here when the dates that it was here for? Basically it started off in like November I think, and then it finished at the end of January. It was so good. And I'm not saying that as somebody who is paid to work at the Playhouse. It was just a really good show, and we get very proud, sorry I'm just crossing my legs here, but yeah, we get very proud of the shows that kind of come in and out of the theatre, and you know, because we've seen some amazing productions go on to wonderful things, because it's just like the first Christmas show that I worked, it was the first show I ever worked at the Playhouse, was The Lion, the Witch and the Wardrobe. This Christmas that production has been in London at the Bridge Theatre in London, so we've seen that move on. I think it was the year before that, before I started, we had Strictly Ballroom, which ended up in the West End, and it's so cool to see these productions going on to so beautiful wonderful things, and this version of The Wizard of Oz was absolutely incredible. I think somebody's just moving their bin. No, front door. Hang on. It was a delivery. Anyway, so back to The Wizard of Oz. We had two Dorothys, we had two teams of kids playing the Munchkins, and it was just a wonderful cast. So I'm going to go through the cast list for you. It's all in alphabetical order. So in the ensemble we've got Hayley Ann playing Zeke, Lion, Ensemble and Nico. We've got Marcus Ayton. As assistant choreographer we've got Harrison Clark, in the ensemble Joseph Klaus, and Uncle Henry and the Guard played by Phil Cole. As a farmhand and the Toto puppeteer, because we had a puppet, it's Ailsa Dowling. In the ensemble we've got Russell Dixon, another ensemble member was Erin Hare, and then as Hickory and the Tin Man we had Sean Harrison. As the Professor and Wizard we had Graham Hoadley. Ensemble Paul Hutton and Bethany Linsdell. As Miss Galton, the Wicked Witch, Polly Lister. Ensemble Anne McCarrahan. Dorothy, as I said, we got two, so we had Agatha Meehan and Lucy Sherman. In the ensemble we had Molly Melia Redgrave, Esme Sears. Hunk Scarecrow was played by Eleanor Sutton. Yes, we had a female Scarecrow. And in the ensemble we had Joshua Talbot, and then Aunt Em and Glinda was played by Angela Winter, and then we had two actual dogs playing Toto called Scruff and Doris. And then I'll just quickly go through the names of Team West and Team East, which were our children cast as the Munchkins and other dancers as well. So on Team West we had Margot Barker, Elliot Boothroyd, Olivia Boy, Kenya Bowery, Kian Bowery, Lucy Chambers, Lilia Day, Portia Hoyland Lau, Poppy Hudson Croker, Fraser Campbell MacDonald, Amelia Marchant, William O'Brien, Charlotte Pooley, Jack Poulson, Seb Smallwood, Ave Stewart Patton, Hannah Thompson. So that was Team West. And then Team East had Georgia Baines, Jack Brining, Phoebe Connolly, William Cummings, Sophia Din, Alice Ford, Tyrese Holmes, Lily Horn, Alexi Hully, Mimi Lee, Anais, I'm never quite sure how to pronounce that, Anais Libert-Young, Amelie Pinky, Isabel Royale, Frankie Robinson, Rafi Sherman, Kate Thompson and Tegan Williams. So that was our whole cast. It was big, there was a lot of them, and they were all fantastic. If anybody asks me which was my favourite Dorothy, I wouldn't be able to answer because they were so different. Agatha was the youngest and Lucy was the oldest, so I think Agatha was about 12, 13 I think Agatha was, and then Lucy was about 15 I think. 14, 15. But yes, so they were young, they were proper teenagers, and you know, considering the fact that the story, she's supposed to be a teenager, it makes sense to have a wonderful young cast. It was a long one, it was 2 hours and 50 minutes including the 20-minute interval, so I think it started at 7 o'clock most evenings. I remember there was one night when we actually started a little bit later because one of the Dorothys had fallen sick, And so just when I was getting the announcement, I was getting ready to open my door, and they said, oh no, we're not starting now. So it's just like, oh wait, close the door. Don't let anybody in because they're not ready. They updated it, so we had a gay Tin Man. So he was going on about how his boyfriend's mother hated him, and that's how he kind of got cursed. We had a female Scarecrow, which was just brilliant. I just loved how they tried to modernise it, but it was such a wonderful show. This was the lovely programme because I got my parents tickets to see it on one of the quieter evenings, so I just stabbed myself in the eye with the programme. Ow. But yeah, I just wanted to talk about it because, you know, it was such a good show, and I completely forgot to talk about it when it was on over Christmas, so I thought I'd take the moment to talk about it now. And yeah, it was a wonderful show. I'll admit there were times when we were working it when the whole crew were just like, some of these songs are really long. You'll be aware that there's certain songs in the show that weren't in the film. It's definitely adapted from the musical that was in London, and we had Jitterbug. We had Jitterbug, people, and it was my favourite song in the whole show. I absolutely love Jitterbug. Plus, our Wicked Witch, Polly, was singing Jitterbug, and I fell in love with Polly Lister. To be fair, I think everybody did, because it's obviously a fun show that everybody can enjoy, you know, and they can constantly have fun with it, the cast. But every single night Polly was doing something different. It's just like, because when you've seen a show a lot, and when you're working it, you see the show a lot. I want to say I saw it at least 20 times over the Christmas period, and I know there's people who saw it more than me because I could only work evenings thanks to my day job. So there were people who were seeing it constantly throughout the day. Like they'd work the matinee and then the evening, and then they work the matinee and the evening again. And so I'm sure we'll have a new record for how many times this show was seen. But yeah, it was just bloody brilliant. And as I said, we all fell in love with Polly. We want Polly Lister to come back basically and do a one-woman show as the Wicked Witch. She was fantastic. She had so much fun with it. Some of the jokes that I would be laughing at so much, and other people would just go straight over their head, and it was just like, how did you miss that? It was so funny. There was a point when she was finally gotten Dorothy to the Wicked Castle, and she was like, I hope you had a pleasant flight, turning full airplane hostess on it, and it was wonderful. It was really clever how because I've never seen a production of The Wizard of Oz on stage before, so I was really intrigued to see how they were going to do certain things. And the use of projections in this show was amazing, because when we had the tornado, they had this sheet that came down, and so they had projections. Like, they actually had Miss Galt turning into the witch on this projection, and then obviously during the tornado you could see the house in the air spinning and things, and it was, I absolutely loved it. And I know that the people who I was working with on those shows knew how much I loved it, because whenever I could, I would be singing and dancing along. Not during the show, don't worry, I didn't disturb anybody. And at the end, I would always dance. I can't say Northern, I'd always dance. But yeah, I'd always dance to Jitterbug at the end. Because as everybody was leaving, the orchestra would do just an instrumental of Jitterbug. And also the dancers were absolutely amazing. We had women just as trees, you know, doing the whole wait for it now, Romeo. Eleanor Sutton as the Scarecrow, when you first see her, because you've got the male ensemble who are in, to be fair, all the ensemble were in it constantly, but just before you meet the Scarecrow, you actually have the crows coming down, and it is so brilliant. The crows. The crows always got a good laugh, because they'd be just like, howdy neighbour, howdy Scarecrow. And then there was a point when one of them left the stage, as the trees were coming on, you'd actually see one of the birds like pooping on one of the trees. Not literally, but it was just so funny. It was done so well. The cast were amazing. As I said, we all fell in love with Polly Lister. We wanted to come back and play the witch again. If you saw the video where I talked about one of my favourite shifts at the theatre, it was on a shift at Wizard of Oz where I was sat out and a little girl became really scared of the witch and Miss Gulch, so she kept coming out. And while she was out, there was a point when she was outside when the Tin Man came on, and she kept calling the tin can, and it was so cute. So once I was, because I shared the story obviously with my colleagues and just saying about how cute this little girl was, and yeah, the Tin Man becoming called the Tin Can, it did catch on quite quickly. I say that, I probably called him the Tin Can the most, but there was definitely a few other members of staff who started calling him the Tin Can. But yeah, so it was the Wizard of Oz. I'm really hoping that it finds new life somewhere because it was bloody brilliant. Yeah, the songs were long, but it's the Wizard of Oz. And it's very repetitive, and the way they did the Yellow Brick Road was so cool. It was done with projections and lighting, and apparently there was one night where they hid who was supposed to paint the Yellow Brick Road. Apparently he lost his paintbrush. I'm not quite sure what happened there, but I remember hearing about it and thinking, oh well, it's live theatre, things go wrong. But yeah, the cast were just absolutely incredible. All the music, and you know, people were constantly asking me where the band were, and for a while I wasn't completely sure because I was just like, are they backstage? Are they under the stage? I think we managed to figure out they were underneath the stage eventually. Yeah, it was such a brilliant show, and I've just realised I've chipped my nail polish. Oh well, I could always take it off. I painted them myself. But yes, so I have been Debbie. Thank you so much for watching. If you haven't subscribed already, please do. I'm going to be posting more theatre related videos, book related videos. I'm even thinking of getting my sing on because I haven't gotten the microphone out in a while. And yeah, I just feel like singing. I've been doing really well at my singing lessons. My teacher was really helping me get that chest voice back out. We're just learning on relaxing the tongue because my tongue won't behave. Does that sound really wrong? But yeah, we're just focusing on like lip trills and stuff and breathing to help relax the tongue tension when I'm trying to hit high notes in my belt. So my name is Debbie. I have been Debbie Drama. Thank you so much for watching. Do subscribe if you haven't already. Yeah, I will see you next Wednesday with another video. And also, if you want a career in musical theatre, stay dead, people. If you know where that's from, please put it in the comments because I swear nobody knows where it's from.